pulleys, the belts, the bearings, whatever. On every box of pads, it'll tell you what that pad is rated up to. If you're not sure, right on the box, it'll tell you 20-inch white, and it'll tell you the RPMs that that pad is designed for. Every pad manufacturer is different. Okay. Every white pad from one manufacturer might be different than another manufacturer. So definitely check the box and make sure we have the correct pad on. Another main thing too, on the low speeds here, they have lockouts on these handles. I always want to make sure that this is working properly. If this isn't locking out like it should, as soon as you plug it in, that machine can turn on, fire up, and hurt somebody, damage something, you know, the whole 9 yards. So always make sure that the handle locks are working properly, especially when you're plugging it in. The other thing I recommend is when you plug this machine in, I would recommend plugging it in that position without the pad driver on it. That way, if it does turn on and there is an issue, it won't already be on the floor ready to ruin something. One of the main issues with the low speeds are the pad drivers. People storing them without pads on them, not taking them off, or simply putting them on the ground, setting the machine on here and what they call jump starting to get the pad driver on. So always make sure that you place the pad on here and it's centered. It's a huge thing as well. And then it actually clips in and locks into place, okay? When you're done using it, you need to take the pad driver off and never store it like this, okay? This is gonna ruin those nipples. Your pads won't hold to the bottom and you'll start shooting pads out or whatever you might have. This clutch plate here is very important. If this gets damaged, it will be loose and wobbly and you will not get the correct usage out of this machine. As far as low speeds go, you're going to use your red, your green, your black, your brown, your maroon, whatever color pads you need. Just make sure it is designed for that particular RPM machine. Okay. Say that again?
How many RPMs?
They're all different. This one runs at 175. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's the FM20, right?
FM20,
Yeah, 175.
So this one running 175 RPMs. Again, double check your pad locks. I've seen white pads that are made to go on low speeds. I've seen white pads that are designed to run up to 3,000 RPMs. So we want to make sure that that pad is actually designed for that machine. Okay? It's very important. As far as the cord goes, we already know that we're going to use the cord wraps and wrap it from the machine out. On a machine like this, 90 to 99% of the time we're running into water, we're using some kind of water or stripper. If the cord is cut or damaged, that is a liability issue. You will get shocked or knocked on your butt, whatever term you want to use. So make sure that the cords are never cut up. There's no exposed wires, especially because you will be standing in some kind of liquid while you're using those machines. Okay? That's huge on here. And this goes back to that little clip Chuck had on his belt. Keep that cord away from you. Last thing you want is that cord on your shoulder and you expose wire, and next thing you know, you're in the hospital because you got a burn on your shoulder or something. So always make sure that the cords are intact. We said the price on the cords on these were about 40, 50 bucks. This cord, 50 foot, 130 bucks, 140 bucks. 75 foot, we're getting up to the $200 mark. So to be walking around corners and just ripping the cord, it's a pretty expensive item there, okay? It's pretty much it on the low speed. There is a circuit breaker here if you do overload the motor. Pop the circuit breaker back in. The more times this breaker pops, the weaker it's going to get, okay? If the circuit breaker's popping, there's a reason why it's popping, okay? So we need to figure out why it's popping. Is there an overload in the motor? Is there a faulty wire somewhere? So just make sure that, if it pops once, okay, maybe you did something, but if it keeps popping on you, you need to address that issue. Pretty basic, 20-inch to 17-inch is the exact same model, smaller head. That's pretty much it. Got
Any questions?
That's right, good machines.
Very good, very durable, yeah.
Did you mention taking the pad brush off when you're not using it? Don't rest it on its pad brush.
Just just to double check on that, guys. Those pad drivers are $125 a piece, that's a cheap one. A cheap one, $125. So set it with weight on it, 70 pounds sitting on that thing, it's gonna break those nipples and it's done. Nonetheless, that if we don't get it fixed and we keep using it, we hurt someone or something, or damage something, or ourselves, all right? I know we spoke about 3 prongs on the vacuums, right? Oh, it's just a vacuum. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, 3 prongs on this thing, when we're pulling a total of about, what is this, 18, 17 amps? You know what I'm saying? See where I'm going with this, guys? It's real important to have all 3 prongs. Unlike the vacuums, you know, sometimes if the cord's good, we can get away with putting a Green Dot hospital grade certified cord end on it and replace just the end. But on something of this magnitude, we're dealing with water. We're in water, the cord will be in water. If we try to put a replacement on this, anybody have any idea what happens? You're gonna get water through it. Because that cord is in the water and it works its way right back down that cord. I've seen it happen. Right into the wall.
Springs from that GFI protector, right on the end of the cord.
Oh, we can. Yeah, I can do that. Without doubt. Yep. And here again, I think one of those are what, like 270?
That just charged the cord from 150 to about 250.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I'll get you without it exactly, but it's just, I can't stress enough how important those problems are, guys. And if you have something, you go back, you have something now that's like that, just tell me not to use it. There's no sense in hurting yourselves, destroying the equipment or the facility. But mainly ourselves, because we all want to go back home the same way we came in. You know what I'm saying? And second thing on this machine, I know we all have tanks like this. I know we all use it for different purposes, stripping, scrubbing, sanitizing, bathrooms, whatever. We need to empty this when we're done with it. Period. We empty it. You know, oh, well, how do you do it? Well, then, back the T300 up to it, take the hose off, suck it out. But it should be empty after every use. I don't care if you are using it tomorrow. It should be empty. Make sense? Yeah? Are we good with that? Yeah, Coach?
Yeah, Coach.
All right.
Just going back to the cord and everything, if you do notice there is an issue, you're going to want to tag that machine and mark it, you know, this machine should not be ran, because you know, but the third shift guy might not know. Okay, and then you're going to feel really bad when that guy ends up in the hospital because you didn't put a note on the machine. It simply said, do not operate. Okay. So as much as you're thinking about yourself, always think about the next guy down the road as well. Okay. We're into high speeds. Again, pads. Can't tell you how many times these machines come in with a blue pad or a green pad or a black pad. Well, it runs at 1500 RPMs. Let me get my stripper off quicker. Yeah, fine. So it's going to ruin your $800 motor. So definitely make sure the pads are the correct pads for the machines that we're using. When you put a pad on this machine, the way that I highly recommend doing it is not by putting it in the padlock here and trying to thread this out, okay? You need to make sure that this is completely centered so that it runs smooth and there's no issues, okay? What I always do is I line it up here as best as I possibly can. And I just push down on the pad around this plate like this, okay? Now you know we're getting it directly in the center, okay? Once you do that, this padlock will go on like nothing. Okay? You're not fighting with it, you're not pushing it, you're not running it against the wall to get the padlock on. That's the correct way to install the pad driver, the pad itself, okay? As it goes, it'll start to click in, it'll lock on here, and it'll actually be locked, okay? So now when you operate it, this thing will not come off, okay? Now we know the pad's on, it's on good, it's on straight, you're ready to rock and roll.
And it's always good practice at this point to go ahead and spin it with your fingers and watch it. Make sure you got pretty somewhat symmetrical, because I have had pads where they've been stamped wrong. You know what I mean? So if we go truly by that center, then it's, you know, we want to visually see that it's round also. Because you will see a huge difference if the pad's just a little bit out of balance.
Yeah, if you put it on and you notice it's not right, take the pad off, even if it's a brand new pad. Get rid of it, go get another pad, okay? A lot of times, like Chuck was saying, they'll cut that hole maybe an 1/8 inch off and then they'll throw the whole thing out around, okay? It does happen, we've had seen it happen numerous times. Always make sure the pads are centered and not properly. The other thing with a high-speed burnisher, always, always, always make sure we are moving this thing on the floor when it's plugged in. If you let this thing sit for anything more than a second or two, you're gonna burn the floor, you're gonna burn the wax, you're gonna do some damage. Not to mention the stress we're gonna put on the motor. Brian, can you talk about spray buff?
Oh, what?
Spray
Oh,
buff.
spray buff.
Yes,
If
please.
So-
you ask me, I'm gonna tell you not to use it.
First of all, spray buff was really never designed necessarily for high speed, they're supposed to be for low speed. That all being said, I still see lots of people use it. The only problem with spray buff on these machines is what will happen is the pad gets gunked up in a hurry. And what does that do? So it does a couple things. First of all, your pad needs to be replaced that much faster. Second of all, the most common call I get against a salesperson is, it keeps tripping the breaker. Why does it keep tripping the breaker? Breakers are essentially protection for the motors. So what happens with a gunked up pad is it kind of grabs the floor as it's going around the circles. All right, so if it's filled up with spray buff, it's actually dirtying quickly, and it's grabbing that floor as it's going by, and then tripping that breaker. So that is by far the most common call I get. The second one actually is if you're using an incorrect pad on the wrong finish. If let's say you're using a white pad, I feel like because they're softer, on certain soft finishes, the combination of those two will grab the pad too much. Some will say, hey, I'm not using spray buff. It's a brand new machine. We've got a brand new pad on there, and it's still tripping the machine breaker because it's the wrong pad for the wrong floor finish, okay? That they'll also do it too. Because again, not a lot of things can go wrong with these machines, but the breakers on them get tripped all the time because of a bunch of combinations. If you're using an extension cord, if the wrong cord is on there, if you're using spray buff, if you have a really dirty pad, I mean, these pads are meant to be replaced. Some people, I've seen them buy the machine, put a pad on them, they think they're done for the life of the machine. Well, no. Pad needs replaced, it needs flipped. You can't flip, it's got two sides. And there's an example for our floor class. I don't think we have it here, of like this pad that was brought in that was this thick. I mean, they just worn that down to a nub. And the problem with that too is a worn pad, you'll start scraping this pad holder on the floor. And so that whole weekend you spent redoing that floor on your facility, right? Now you're busy scraping with that pad holder dragging on the floor. So I went off the beaten path and sprayed buff, so.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I was gonna say, we just asked about spray buff, Brian.
They don't want information? Of course they want information.
So for the
Yeah,
high speed,
Coach.
it's always moving, you're never, ever running it in one spot. Constantly keep the machine moving, constantly check the pad.
Isn't any different if you move back and forward or side? You cannot move back
No, on the high speed, you're not gonna be able to go side by side. You can veer off
Yes.
and, you know,
but
yeah, keep it moving, back and forth, back and forth. That's huge, I mean, definitely don't wanna burn your floor or ruin the motor. I mean, the whole thing of this machine is the motor. It's got a motor and that's about it. Good?
Do you want to put this up on the table? Or?
This?
It's the extractor.
No, we'll leave it on there.
All right.
It's too heavy. All right, we're gonna go over the carpet extractor. Most of you guys might not have this exact model. They're all pretty much, you know, the same as far as maintenance and troubleshooting and things like
And
that.
if you need one, we do sell them. We have 4 or 5 in the, so you can take one with you. We'll help you load it.
Probably even deliver it.
We can do that too,
We can
probably.
definitely do that. We're gonna start with the solution and the solution filter, okay? On this particular model, it's very nice, the tanks come right out. Easy to fill, easy to dump, okay? Anytime you fill up this tank, you need to dump the other tank, okay? Chuck talked about on the auto scrubbers, same with this. We had a guy that tried to clean up a flood, we did it in the last 5 minutes, and it was full. Yeah, you gotta empty the tank, bro. So anytime you put water in it, make sure you're draining the other side, okay? There's a clean filter on here, mesh filter. This is what draws the water into the machine. The pump will draw it through here. Make sure these filters are on the machine first of all, and make sure they're clean. If the filter's not on here, you're gonna start running dirt, debris, sand, whatever else through here. And it's gonna get into your pumps and your seals. You have nothing but issues, okay? Once it's down and ready to rock and roll, the filter actually goes into the solution tank here, not in this little hole. A lot of times our customers will throw this filter right in this hole and think it's in there. That is not the case. It has to go in the solution tank so that we can operate the machine properly.
So what is that hole for?
That hole is the suction hole that puts the water, sucks it up and puts it over in the other tank, okay? On this model, you can do brush and pump, or you can do brush, pump, and vac, okay? So if your floors are already wet or you gotta clean up a flood, you could just kick on the vac and just suck it up. Or if you want a double scrub, you could do that as well. So there's a lot of different features on here for different reasons, okay? As far as the brush, belt, and all that good stuff, on this model, you got a door that takes the brush in and out. Some of the other machines are a little bit trickier, you might have to remove a plate or whatnot. On here, the brush wheel pops off, the brush comes right out, okay? This brush needs to be inspected constantly, make sure we don't have to
Real quick here. Guys, just let's, off base, just a quick second, we'll talk about brushes, because not only extractors have them, but the vacuums have them, the scrubbers, some of them have them. A bristle set should actually be nice and tight together. Anytime we're using a brush, we want to flick, right? That's what, it's working, it's brushing, it's flicking, right? A nice tight bristle set. When they're sprayed off and they're all pushed out and bunched up like that, they're not flicking, they're not doing their job. It needs to be replaced at that point. Whether it's on your extractor, on your vacuum, on your floor scrubber, on your side-by-side, because we have brushes for those side-by-sides too. When they're all sprayed out and they're, just look, they'll mesh together, it's time to start replacing. Okay? We want nice, tight nylon groups. Right, where we get a nice flick on the brush. Right, everybody good with that? That's basic brush 101.
Yeah, if the brush isn't flicking, all you're doing is digging that dirt in the carpet. Definitely want to make sure the bristles are actually flipping the dirt, okay? Anytime you install the brush, we want to make sure that it's spinning freely, just like the vacuum cleaners. If it can't spin, it's going to bind up, you're going to ruin your belt, you're going to ruin your brush motor. There's a million different things that can go wrong if it's not spinning freely, okay? Any carpet machine any carpet extractor is going to have some tips, jets, okay? Whether it's a hose and wand unit or just a self-contained. Okay? On this model, the tips come out with just a quarter turn. Okay? Only way to clean these properly is, in our case, compressed air. Okay? You never want to dig a screwdriver in here or a pin or anything of that nature. These, if they're not plastic, they're brass. Brass is one of the flimsiest, softest metals that there is, okay? So any screwdriver or anything you put into that brass tip is going to damage it, okay? If the tip isn't fanning like it's supposed to, you're just going to shoot water directly on the floor, okay? The way that it does that is when you open up these ends, okay? You want to make sure that these are always clear, and we want to make sure we're not damaging them because our clean that we do sell some neutralizer. You can always let them sit in some neutralizer for a few minutes, and then maybe just take a hose and flush them out. That's another way to do it. We found the best way here in the shop to get our compressor and just blow them out. Okay. Make sure when they go in, they're nice and tight. If they're not tight in there, you'll start to see a leak on the side of it. It'll start to drip out. So that's also something you want to look for. Here, yeah, on some of them are now. These ones are quarter turn, so there is no ring on there to create that seal. The other style is a threaded end, and then obviously you'll just tighten it there. So. Another thing, I mean, this goes back to the auto scrubbers. When you're done using it, you're cleaning out the tanks, we're rinsing the tanks, and when we're storing it with the tank left open, so that all the moisture can escape. Okay. On this particular model and some other models, your fan is right here. Okay. All it takes is a little bit of moisture and water, or the moisture sitting in here for a night or a weekend, to get into that motor, start removing the bearings, and all the other parts. So when you're not using the machine, this is how it should work. I would recommend taking the brush out, clean the brush off, and leaving the brush out with it too.
Yes, definitely. Always taking and removing what we can, clean and maintain as we go. Just keeps you from seeing, you know, me or the two guys here. You know, the more we can save, the better off we are.
On this, I think it's 3.5 gallons. Another thing too, on this model, some other models, there's hour meters. Make sure the hour meters are working. Especially if you have employees that are telling you they're doing their job and you don't think they are. That hour meter will tell you exactly if you're using it or not. So then we go by it all the time. If we have a machine in and it comes in another month or two, we can go by the hour meter and say, look, you ran it for 100 hours. You know, of course there might be something else wrong with it. So always make sure that the hour meters are working properly. Here's the seals up here to create the suction. Always make sure those are nice and cleaned out, and you want to make sure that the lid actually seals and you have proper suction, okay? Another good feature on here is sometimes I'll leave these up like this, and I'll lower the top here. It's still vented, okay? Now, don't go and throw a case of soap on here like this, because then you're going to do a lot of damage. But anything to keep these tanks from venting and to get that moisture out of there, we want to do it. Handle folds down for storing purposes. Now you can push it into a closet, store it whichever way you want. Questions?
If you don't have a compressor or anything like that, can you use those little heads on the orifices, the brass ones, could you soak them in CLR fluid?
Yeah, you can soak in some neutralizer.
So a mild bathroom acid overnight, like a 9%?
Anything mild, yeah.
I would do it overnight, just plop them in, go home, come back the next day,
Exactly.
rinse them out.
Main thing is we're not putting something in that orifice to ruin it or to expand it. That's huge. Whenever you're replacing tips, we want to make sure we get the correct tips for that machine, okay? The tips come 100 different ways. They go by the angle of the fan and also how much water it's supposed to put on the ground. So if these tips are bad, you can't just go into your other Joe Schmo machine and pull these tips out and put them in here, because chances are it's not going to work properly. So we want to make sure we're getting the correct tips and put it back in the units.
Any other questions?
Actually, the vac shoe real quick, cleaning that out.
Oh, okay, vac shoe. There is no easy way to clean out this vac shoe. Sometimes a putty knife will get you in here. You can kind of
Hacksaw.
rip the hair and stuff out. Hacksaw blade is what we'll use here in the shop. Make sure you use some gloves so you're not cutting up your hands. But yeah, anything to kind of get in here and to get that hair out of there.
Yeah, if you notice you're not getting the pickup you used to, check the gaskets. Check to make sure, actually on some other machines, actually not this particular one, and I don't see one, there's a dump hose. Some people won't put the cap back on the dump hose, no wonder why it's not picking up. That cap needs to go on the dump hose.
Even on the wet dry bags.
Even on the wet dry
The
bags.
caps need to be tight.
And this, how do you clean it up
Anything
here?
back?
Putty knife.
Okay.
Just take a putty knife and get in here. Maybe a little bit of water to flush it out.
But those get clogged very quickly, and one of the main reasons is people don't vacuum before they extract,
If we're vacuuming first, we shouldn't have this issue.
as nearly as much.
Right.
Yeah.
One last thing, if you're not sure if it's picking up properly, sometimes what I'll do when I'm testing it, I'll get the carpet nice and wet, I'll turn the vacuum motor on, and I'll let the machine sit in one area for a couple seconds. Once you go to move it, you'll actually see a dry part of the carpet. Okay? That'll tell you if it's clear and if there's a clog in it. Actually tell it it's sucking up the water.
Everybody good with that? Any questions?
Is there a float on that for the fill?
For the fill tank, or for the clean?
For
For the dirty. There is a ball float up on here. It's right on the lid. Yeah, and it actually sits into this tank.
Okay.
A nice small machine.
Oh, it's a very nice.
This one, yeah, these machines are
Yes.
great.
This one's nice with the ball float, is you have to actually open up the top to actually empty it. So at that point, you can kind of see always what's going on, right there. And by the way, never fill the clean water tank with your dirty water tank. That happens, a couple of my end users have done that.
Oh, they don't want to go to the sink.
Correct. So,
And that also has a rechargeable battery on there.
This is a corded electric machine. They do make this machine, not this one, the T1, yeah, they do.
So much scrub in front, that
Right.
replaces them.
How long does,
This is in development right now, though, I know that.
usually, how long do those batteries last, as far as how many years?
Ion lithium, it all depends.
yeah.
It all depends.
Like you
I
said
can't
before, the
say,
cycle
yeah.
time and everything.
Ion lithiums, they don't so much work on cycle times, nor do they have memory to them.
Okay.
They work more on length, wisdom of charge. Lead acid, over time, like this, you have to replace them. Ion lithium, they're straight across, perfect. Once they're bad, they're done. You know what I'm saying? So, where we're going? GG's hotspot or?
Fog sides up the street? Yeah.
Okay, real quick then, when do we check the water in our batteries? Was it after the charge? There we are. How many sides of a blade do we have? 4. What was the first one?
I heard it back here.
What's the only chemical that goes in the recovery tank? What's the only chemical that goes in the recovery tank?
The phone.
Who said defoamer? Something down there.
Ready? Okay, what age groups do I coach soccer?
9 boys,
16 and 13.
You got it, I'm getting worried over here. Did we learn anything today?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, coach, there you go. All right. We ready to eat, boss?
You're ready.
All right, guys, hey, thanks. Anybody who's gonna have to hang around for a little bit, come see us, you have my card. By all means, call me. And even just issue the questions, call me. I don't always answer because I am out there working, getting stuff done, but I will get back to you.
If he doesn't answer, just keep calling.
Yeah, just keep that symptoms. So what I'll do then is I'll call you and I'll send you the next voicemail.
Okay, how we order those, core holders, core holders?
You can just find your salesman,
Oh.
hey, you got this one, yours.
I don't know.
But your salesman will definitely be able to pick those up for you, or you can call into Mary Ann and she'll know exactly what's coming.
Okay.
Okay?
Guys, anybody who didn't get a hat, you're welcome to grab on the way.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
Didn't matter if you do anything or not.
You had fun doing that.
Oh, good, okay. Oh, yeah.
What's your name, Ted?
Teresa, you wanna take a picture for, picture? Not that good for picture. Hey, Teresa, what's your name on it, what ABM on it? What ABM on it?
Oh, no, man.
Oh.
Inside you, everybody look at me.
But no, there were